Morning, everyone. Welcome to day two of the Winter Matchplay. We'll be covering the Table 1 game between Terry Kirk and Phil Robertshaw. I'm your stream host, Quizzical, and we'll be joined by Chris Hawkins, hopefully, when he sorts out his technical difficulties later. But until then, I'll just leave you to observe some live annotation and we'll let the players get on with it.
body has been high blocked metally.
Okay, this is Chris Hawkins doing a test for a slightly late starting commentary on the Winter Matchplay. Hope you can hear me okay. I'll keep talking until Jeff confirms that it's okay. I'm getting a message that the audio isn't working that well. I'll keep talking now on the game, and if I keep getting feedback that the audio isn't good, I'll have to stop. The audio isn't working that well. Talking now on the game, and maximize the screen because it's actually very small on my monitor here. I think I've lost the picture this end, Jess. I clicked on a button which appeared to close it rather than maximize it, so sorry about that. Still can't see it that big. I can just about make out racks, but I can't see the board layout. No, I've got a tiny thumbnail of the screen. I can just about read the left-hand rack as I. What else can we try? It's basically a window in a window in a window. Still seeing a screen that's too small to work from, Jess, sorry. Matt! Okay, this is Chris Hawkins' second attempt at commentary on Game 11 from the Winter Matchplay in Milton Keynes between Terry Kirk and Phil Robertshaw. Can you hear me okay, Jess? Testing again. Yeah, it looks like I can be heard now, so I will start my commentary on this game. Current scores are Terry Kirk 2-11, Phil Robertshaw 1-5-8. This is a game between the tops at the moment in the division, in the A division. It started off a move of 6 for a good score for Terry, who then bonused with. In fact, no, he didn't bonus. He tried pucking, which was challenged, so he got 5 points for his efforts there. Then I can see a bonus for Phil later on after that. Gant line, nice word there. And it's currently Terry to play with a lead of about 11 points following the last move of Phil's, which was Joy'd. Okay, so it's a nice close game. There's been no blanks played as yet. See where they end up going. In terms of the leader is, there's 2 Phil and Austin. Haven't got access to at the moment, so I think Phil was in the lead on spread overnight. It might still be him. Terry's on 7 wins, 1 win behind, so should Terry win this, could really close up the top of the leaderboard with 2 people on 8 wins, Terry and Phil, and maybe Austin if he lost. So that would be a really nice way to go into the last few rounds with a big close bunch of top players playing each other. When one player tends to pull away in a tournament, it's great for that player, but it makes it sort of less of a spectator sport to see them just pounding on everybody. Okay, while I've been talking, Terry sorted his quite bad rack out. He played Warrior at the top through an I, getting rid of his I and both R's. Kept the U, which was the downside of that move. But in doing so, he picked a blank, which, despite his 4 vowels left with the blank, he should be looking for a bonus next time. I haven't got any software open to help me see if he has got one. You can see one. Phil's looking at a 33-point deficit. He's got a balanced rack, a few duplicate letters, double N's, double E's. So if he hasn't got a bonus, I'm just opening up Ziziver on my phone now as we speak. Let's see what he's got. Okay, he's got no 7-letter words. He's got an 8-letter word with the right floater. The floater needs to be E, or an R, none of which appear. So Phil is going to bonus on this go. He'll be looking to score, obviously, and give himself a good chance of bonusing next time. The move he's played at the top, in the middle of the top, is Name. It does several things. It scores 29. If it's balanced, he's kept one of the E's, he's kept one of the N's. He's just hoping to pick up to balance those 3 keeps. Unfortunately, it wasn't a good pickup. BIPG. It's got ING that everyone knows it can be a downfall keeping ING, but maybe that'll come to. I'm okay. But we'll see how that goes on his move. Looking at Terry's rack, as I say, he picked the blank when he played Warrior. The 4 vowels are all different, so although he's a bit vowel heavy, having different vowels on a vowel heavy rack is okay. Using Ziziver to help me, I see he's got some 7s, Oracle, using the blank as an R, Corline, using the blank as an N, Peculiar, not peculiar with an R, but peculiar, ending in the A, that's a nice one, using the blank as a P. Looking around this board, 7s are going to be difficult to slot in, so he'll be looking to play an 8-letter word either through the S of Joys on the O column or through the S of Jeers on the 12 row, on row 12. Of the 8s that play with an S in, he's got Esculin, which would be a nice word, Aesculin, using the N as the blank. That would play down the O column. He could play Lunacies onto the S of Jeers. He could play Musical through the S of Joys, Vesicular through the S of Joys, or Spicular through the S of Joys. And obviously Oracles, the plural of Oracle. It's got some choices. And I can hear a score of 60 announced, so I didn't see some of those ones that I mentioned. So Oracles on row 12. Takes off probably the hottest line for an 8-letter bonus if Phil was going to bonus. Obviously, the O column is still available for 8-letter bonuses, but ending in an S isn't possible on that column. It would have to have an S somewhere in the middle of the word. I'm getting a message that my audio is a bit choppy. Apologies for that if it's not sounding brilliant. I don't know what I can do my end to help that. I'll just sit as still as I can and going. Terry's lead after his bonus is 293 to 229, so he's 64 ahead, about bonus ahead. Phil obviously didn't have a good pickup after his move of Name, So he'll be looking again to clear out the most awkward letters on his rack, score. Maybe he needs to think about making some openings as well, because there is only one at the moment and he's going to need a bonus to get this game. Okay, what he's done is something I believe is called forking the board. Maybe I'm wrong there, but a tactic that the top players know when they're behind is to open both sides of the board so that the opponent can't close down the board as quickly or easily. So playing on the left-hand side away from the F in the O column means that there's a column open now, either the C column or the B column, through the B or the I of the move he's just played, Bing. Bing didn't score that much, but at least it's got both sides of the open bonuses. And as you can see, he's had a wonderful pickup, getting the other blank, so it's fair in this game that both players get a blank. Maybe Phil will use his to come back and get into the lead before the end game. Terry's got a problem with his rack. He picked 3 clunky consonants, the V, the B and the M. The B and the M can go together often, but the V doesn't either of them as well, so that's going to be a problem. It's gone for a scoring move, not blocking any lines, so he's played off the B and the M at the top, in the right-hand corner at the top there, Mob. Scores okay, 27. In a nice, healthy 74-point lead. Only keeping one vowel, and that's an I, so that could be trouble depending on the pickup. Pickup was 2 vowels, so that was handy. We'll look at Phil's choices now with his blank. Got 7s, pallied, prilled and spilled. The ag hook at the bottom will take one of those. Definitely spilled. Looking at the column you can play through. There's a lovely 8-letter word beginning with S. If you can spot it, Spadle. Maybe it's the following word, F-A-D-I-L-L-E. That is definitely his best move if he can find it. But Spilled would be a good second choice. And he's found it. Well done. There. 3. It's narrowly into the lead. It's very little in it. Could end up, as we go into the end game, that Terry going first is going to have an advantage, because that does affect you in games that you play. Phil's pickup his bonus. Shocking, really. 4 O's and a U. He's got words like foo, F-O-U, foul. That's not a good rack to go into the end game with. Terry's got a nice little rack, balanced. V for scoring. A-I-O the vowels. Only 1 E left. It's in the bag. There's no E's on either rack. There we go. Spadile, as good as it was actually a move that could have cost Phil the game, because Terry's used E in Spadile to bonus with rotative. Fantastic spot there. Everyday word, but one that you would expect top players to see with the 4 vowels A-E-I-O in it. So that scores 86 and cancels out the score for Spadile straight away. So 406 to 329. We're right into the end game now, and it's almost going to be impossible for Phil to win this, I would say, especially with the rack that he's got. So we'll just be playing out the last few moves to a Terry at least 50 or 60, I would say. He's only got the 1 vowel to go into the end game with, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. I don't think he's going to get stuck with any letters unplayable, so that Phil can go out slowly. So having joined this game halfway through, I was Good to see 3 bonuses played: Oracles, Spadile, and Rotative. If people have been commenting in the chat room, apologies that I can't actually see that. So anybody was making suggestions, I didn't see those, sorry. Not sure what the times are left on each player's clocks, but I would imagine Phil is resigned to losing. He's just looking at a way of clawing some spread points back. Don't think he'll be able even to go out in 2 with 4 O's and a U. Plays off food. It's going to be left with 2 O's and a U. Just getting a message through from Jess about the clock situation. Terry's got plenty of time, 13 minutes and some seconds. Phil's got 9 and some seconds. So that's plenty of time to be thinking about an end game. I don't think they'll be using all of that up to for any great reason, really. They'll be just wanting to, well, Phil will just be wanting to get this game over and on to the next game where he might have a chance of winning. Saying at the start of this commentary, which started about halfway through the game, Phil winning is great for the tournament. Winning is great for the tournament, as it means Terry's on 8 wins, Phil's on 8 wins, he's on 9. And Austin has won a game with Ellie, who gets some information on that in due course. There's player 6, so they could be coming through to be on 7 wins, and it's going into the lunch games. It's just before lunch. It's quite a bunch sprint, to use a cycling analogy. Okay, so he's gone for score, Phil. Foo down the side of Spadile for 31, I think. So he's only 46 behind, but he knows with the pickup of the E, he's got too many vowels to go out. I don't think he would have been able to go out with any single tile pickup there. Terry's got the last S, the 8 scoring with. Looking around the board for 20 or 5 points, maybe more. For players new to the game, at this stage of a game, whether it's close or whether it's not, each player will know what the other player's got left on their rack and will plan their moves accordingly. So Terry, with his 6 consonants and 1 vowel, will be planning to go out in 2 if he can, using vowels on the board, because he knows that Phil's rack is D, E, O, O, U, and he can't go out. So Terry knows he's 100% got 2 moves, at least, on this in this game. He might be using some of those 13 minutes to actually work out an out in 2, it's called. Okay, the move he's done is to not score probably his highest score, but to get rid of 6 of his tiles. Sharing scores 12, leaves him with the D, and therefore he will be able to go out next time in several places with that D. Not a lot Phil can do. Even the G that Terry dangled next to the triple on A15 isn't going to give him much. Dog for 15. Doge for 21. That's probably going to be the move he plays. Heard an announced score of 23. Yes, through the B of being Doge. Scores a couple of extra points using the same files. Let's see, where's Terry going to go out with his D? Saying the point score. That's what Terry's done. DOR on A12. 6 and out. Final scores. It sounded like 4-2, 6-3, 1. So that's a 45-point win for Terry. First of bonuses and there boosted the scores. The spread was fairly minimal in the end, only 45, as I say. But the key was the deal giving the place for a bonus. Rotating was basically a game clincher. And all Terry could do after was minimise the spread. Okay, so I'll sign off from game 2 and hand over to Jess. I'll perhaps be back for some commentary